Good morning. I'm Rob Barnett. I'm the chief drip at DropCountr. We're a software as a service company that works with water utilities to help them and their customers save water, money, and time. So what's the big problem? The big problem is water utilities actually have quite a bit of data. What they don't have is information, or a medium to actually communicate that information. So what DropCountr does is we partner with water utilities to actually manage the data that they're collecting already, analyze it, and redeliver it back in a more intuitive format for not only utility staff, but their customers. So we have a foundational solution which is based upon data science as well as behavioral science, which is really based on the concept that comparing your performance to others can actually move you for behavioral change, as well as a compelling UI UX solution. So we address two pieces of the market, a consumer-facing piece, free iOS and Android apps for consumer use to get a sense for how much water they really use. Is that amount really appropriate based upon some specific demographic conditions? And they also sign up for key alerts around leak detection, as well as key emergency announcements from their utility. On the other side of the market, we have an enterprise software solution, which we deliver to utility staff. This is really their best friend and the tool that they use every day to get their jobs done. They can filter and sort this data in a more intuitive way, and then filter and target their users into specific groups so that they can send out digital communications via push message and email. This is a huge departure from conventional and expensive paper outreach. So what do? We present data in a way that makes sense. So we integrate a number of different meter streams or data streams, meter and weather data, household and demographic data, as well as rate and regional data. And all of that, again, is conveyed via mobile and web to our end users. So we operate in the middle. Really, our key revenue stream comes from working with water utilities. So we're really developing that communication, enabling communication between them and their customers. But by virtue of the fact that we also collect a great deal of data around the customers themselves and understand what their pain points are with respect to water use, we can help make specific suggestions that can help them save water around suggestions around product and service providers. And so this is really an affiliate marketing revenue stream that we're using based upon a cultivated data set and really connecting these service providers with the people who are in need. So our platform has utility abroad, but really our target market is in the US right now, and that's borne out in our current customers. So we have over 500,000 accounts under management in California. And the city of Austin is also a customer.
Okay, questions, please.
What's the value of the software? How do you put a value on it? Is it in gallons saved or dollars saved, or how do you assess that?
It's a few different things. We measure it in terms of conservation benefits, so we're seeing a 10% conservation benefit in our deployments to date. But we also try to measure the amount of paper outreach and labor time that utility staff use to interact with their customers, and we can create great savings there, digital communication.
So it's free for the customers, so the utilities are the ones that are paying you.
Exactly. So our main customer is the utility.
And how much are they paying, and have you been able to kind of work out in dollars and cents the payback time in terms of cost savings on their end?
Yeah, sure. So conventional sales pricing models, so we have a setup fee. We charge by the number of seats that have access to the enterprise software. Then we charge per account, per user account that the utility wishes to make the platform available to. And we're seeing an ROI on the order of 6 months.
You mentioned about leak detection. Is that at the level of the house or the buildings, or is that also in the distribution system?
Exactly. So it's specifically on the residential account side of the meter. So we have utility partners who are AMI equipped, so we see 15-minute interval data, so very quick and easy to identify a leak, send a push message right to the residential user's phone, let them know something's going on. We also see monthly data, so it's a little bit more difficult to do leak detection with that sort of granular data.
So I was intrigued, and I downloaded the app last night, and my utility's not there. So it sort of went belly up. What's next? What do you do when it's...
Yeah, sure. So we actually have a function in there where we will geolocate on your phone, and we'll give you a list of your 5 closest utilities, and then you can actually send a message to that utility saying, hey, I heard about DropCountr, I'd like to use this and learn more about my water use. And so that's been a huge lead generation tool for us in terms of getting out to those utilities that are not yet customers.
And just to follow up, is the app not functional if the utilities don't join?
Correct. So we basically need to have data to present, and we need currently to go through the utilities to gain access to that data.
And on that note, you talked a little bit about your customer traction, but what's your traction looking like with utilities? How many are on board right now?
So publicly, I can announce 5, and we have about 20 in the queue that will close on the next month.
There are companies that do this in the electricity space, not the leak detection, but the management of information. Are they competitors for yours? Because they could leap into the water space and they already have hundreds of utility clients and that kind of thing?
I think energy is a little bit different than water, and I think that most of the folks who are established in energy are afraid of the water space for a few reasons. There's a higher level of fragmentation in water, and the data looks a little bit different, so it's a little bit more difficult to just extend with an energy solution.
So, and in the water sector, do you have competitors, and how do you differentiate from them?
Sure. So we have, I guess I'd qualify them as a couple different competitors. One would be other startups, and the primary competitor would be a company called WaterSmart Software.
Go ahead and finish that.
Our key differentiation for them is we communicate via mobile and web, and they're very much fixated on delivering paper outreach still, which isn't necessarily an advancement.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.